Good evening and welcome to TCM's 31 Days of Oscar. I'm Eddie Muller, taking a sabbatical from Noir Alley to be part of TCM's annual celebration of Academy Award nominees and winners. Tonight, Oscar gets political. There are plenty of people who believe movies should provide nothing more than an escape from our troubled and complicated world. But filmmakers bold enough to explore the divisive and thorny subject of America's political system have rewarded audiences with some of the best movies ever made. Up next is just such a film, made over 8 decades ago, but still offering a timeless commentary on American democracy. From director Frank Capra, it's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, released by Columbia Pictures in 1939. When a senator from an unnamed state drops dead in office, it threatens to derail a shady scheme hatched by some fellow politicians to get rich grifting off a public works project. A new senator needs to be appointed quickly, but they want one who can be easily manipulated and won't ask too many questions. Enter Jefferson Smith, upright citizen and leader of the state's Boy Rangers. As played by Jimmy Stewart, Smith is an idealist, one woefully naive in the ways of Washington. He finds himself instantly under attack by the corrupt politicians who'd hoped for a stooge but now see the freshman senator as a threat. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington displayed Capra's belief in the yin of American idealism triumphing over the yang of entrenched cynicism, a common theme in his films. But this movie has a darker tone than Capra's previous movies. Even though Capra first wanted to cast Gary Cooper, it's perhaps the defining role in Jimmy Stewart's career. The film picked up an impressive 11 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Director, and Actor. The cast includes Jean Arthur, Guy Kibbe, Thomas Mitchell, and 2 actors nominated in the supporting category, Claude Rains and Harry Carey. It would win only one for writer Louis R. Foster's original story. 1939 was a great but tough year to be nominated. Often called Hollywood's greatest year, the movie faced tough competition from Gone with the Wind, Ninotchka, and Stagecoach, just to name a few. Now, if you are looking for a refresher course on American idealism and democratic values, here is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Today, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is considered a Hollywood classic, but a 1939 preview screening for Capitol Hill politicians and the press proved to be a disaster. Many reporters were livid at Frank Capra, feeling he portrayed them as little more than shifty drunks. Capra later claimed in his not always reliable autobiography that a third of the 4,000 invited audience members walked out, apparently offended by the mere suggestion of corruption in the hallowed halls of Congress. The U.S. ambassador to Great Britain, Joseph P. Kennedy, urged Columbia not to release the film in Europe, calling it, quote, one of the most disgraceful things I have ever seen done to our country. Kennedy feared it would damage America's relationship with its overseas allies. The American public didn't see it that way, however, as Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was one of the biggest box office hits, not just of 1939, but of the entire decade. Coming up, a vagrant rises to the top of a crooked political machine, but true love threatens to turn him into a decent man. From 1940, Preston Sturgis's sharp political satire, The Great McGinty, is next as 31 Days of Oscar continues.
Next on TCM, The Great McGinty, then 7 Days in May, and later, The Fog of War. Oscar is hell tonight.